Traditional digestion functions as a massive, hidden draining tax on the human body. Every meal requires a significant upfront investment of internal energy before any nutrients can be returned to the system. The yogic science of Prithvi Ahar, or the earth diet, views solid foods as a secondary proxy for life force. From this perspective, grains and vegetables are simply middlemen, dense physical structures used to store solar energy that the body must work to extract. This energy budget illustrates the biological reality of that extraction. The digestive process consumes up to 70. By treating physical matter as the primary source of power, the body remains locked in a cycle of constant exertion. Escaping this energy trap requires a shift toward more direct forms of nourishment. After 14 to 16 hours without external food, the body reaches a metabolic threshold. It begins to look inward for fuel, triggering a specialized survival mechanism that transforms emptiness into a source of repair. In 2016, biologist Yoshinori Osumi was awarded the Nobel Prize for mapping this process, known as autophagy. He identified the specific genetic screen that allows cells to degrade and recycle their own components when external nutrients are scarce. During autophagy, the cell identifies damaged proteins and malfunctioning organelles. It isolates them in a membrane, dissolves them, and converts the resulting amino acids into fresh energy, effectively recycling biological waste into high-grade fuel. This cellular quality control serves as a primary defense against infection and metabolic disease. In this state, the body prioritizes the health of the whole by systematically removing the parts that lead to decay. In the absence of physical input, the body transitions from consumption to maintenance. This internal recycling system allows the organism to sustain itself on its own refined reserves. For practitioners of prolonged fasting, the challenge is to prevent the digestive fire from consuming healthy organs and muscle once the waste has been recycled. They require a biological mechanism to arrest the metabolic clock. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika describes an in-physical trigger for this called Kechari Mudra. The tongue is rolled backward into the nasal cavity, making contact with a specific center behind the palate. While some claim this pressure releases psychoactive DMT, the human pineal gland is too small to produce the chemical in significant amounts. The real shift is neurochemical, not hallucinogenic. This specific tongue-to-palate pressure stimulates the parasympathetic pathways, significantly increasing vagal tone. This signals the nervous system to move into a state of profound stillness and restorative calm. Scientific studies show that this stimulation correlates with acute increases in melatonin production and neuroprotective signal intensity. This chemical flood effectively turns off the hunger switch and protects the brain from the effects of time and stress. This measurable surge of neuroprotective fluid is the biological reality of Som Ras, the legendary nectar that nourishes the yogi from within, allowing the body to remain stable without physical consumption. At the peak of dietary ascension is Akash Ahar, the space diet. This is the practice of living entirely off the emptiness of the cosmic void, where the body is sustained by the subtlest element of all. The ancient concept of Akash shares a conceptual framework with modern quantum field theory. Both define space not as a hollow void, but as a field saturated with latent energy. Physics defines this as zero-point energy. At absolute zero, the vacuum contains background energy, a constant fluctuation of virtual particles. We see proof in the Casimir effect, where fluctuations exert measurable force on metal plates. The void is a field of potential. By recognizing space as an active field of energy rather than an absence of matter, the concept of nothingness becomes the ultimate power source for the body and mind. This state of being sustained by emptiness is not reserved for those in total isolation. It is a physiological capacity built into the human design. Using intermittent fasting to create physical emptiness in the gut is the first step toward activating this internal restoration. It clears the digestive tax and allows the body to begin its own cellular recycling. You can find the threshold of this space in the 1-second gap between the end of an exhalation and the start of the next breath. This moment of total stillness is the experiential entry point into Akash. By combining physical fasting with this mental breathwork, the practitioner shifts from heavy external dependence to the neurochemical efficiency of the space element. In this stillness, the body finds a way to be sustained not by what it consumes, but by what it preserves.